Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm going to break down the Week 5 matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Final from Arrowhead Stadium, Raiders 40, Chiefs 32. The Chiefs lose this game at home to move to 4-1 on the season. And you know what? It wasn't a good game. I'm not going to lie. The Chiefs got up, but the Raiders were able to claw back into the game, and they were able to handle the Chiefs. And you got to give them credit. John Gruden and Derek Carr came into Arrowhead and finally beat the Chiefs, which is something that they had not done in years prior. But the Chiefs played a pretty sloppy game. There was penalties all over the place. Mahomes did not have a clean pocket. He was constantly running to his left and his right because this offensive line could not block for him. In the second half, the offense did nothing. In the first half, this Chiefs defense was horrendous. We went into halftime with a tie game. It was 24-24, and the Chiefs did nothing in the third quarter. Practically in the second half, that offense did nothing, but in the first half, when this Chiefs defense had not given up 20 points a game to any team, the Raiders put up 24, and they got most of those on chunk plays. And that's just unacceptable because those plays came from just blown coverages. There were blown coverages and just terrible defense. There was a lot of bad reads. We couldn't get to Derek Carr at all to force pressure. Bashaud Breeland did have an interception, which is nice to see coming off of suspension. But besides that, this defense could not force any turnovers or get any pressure on Derek Carr. What can I say about Josh Jacobs? He ran all over this defense, and he's just a great player. I always had respect for him before, but what he did in this game is very impressive. So, the Raiders won this game, and it wasn't a very pretty game for the Chiefs, but I think this is a loss that will benefit the Chiefs long term. We saw it last year. The Chiefs dropped back-to-back games at Arrowhead Stadium to the Colts and to the Texans, and this game reminded me a lot of that Texans game. The Chiefs got up early, but the Texans were able to come back, and that's what happened in this game. The Chiefs got up to a lead, but the Raiders, to their credit, did not give up. And, I'm not too worried about this loss. I kind of think this takes some of the pressure off of them. And if we're being completely honest, we probably should have lost that Chargers game, and we did not play good against the Patriots. So we stole 2 victories, and, ever since that Patriots game, we have not played very good football. And I think that, if anything, this is a big wake-up call to tell this defense, and the offense, too, to wake up and play good for 4 quarters, and I've noticed that before. The Chiefs will have great quarters. They'll go on a great run in the first quarter, or they'll score up a ton of points in the third, but they can never play 4 quarters of good football. They're just not consistent. So hopefully this game kind of teaches them that they got to be consistent through the game. The defense has got to be good for 4 quarters, and they were good before this, but I think that this is a kind of loss, just like the Texans, just like the Titans last year. It's going to help the team long term because I always said that I think this team could go undefeated, but I thought that they would benefit more from a loss. And that's exactly what we saw in this game. If you think that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, alongside with Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark, are not going to take the negatives from this game and turn them into positives next week, you're crazy. You know that they're pissed. They got to be pissed. So I fully expect them to come back stronger next week and play the Bills well. So, again, the Chiefs lose this game at Arrowhead Stadium. Wasn't pretty, but in the long run, I do think this will help the Chiefs. But how you feeling, Chiefs Kingdom? Because I wasn't too disappointed when the Chiefs lost this game because I just feel like, okay, we're going to drop a game or two to an easy team, and we still control the AFC. Don't get it twisted. Nobody in the AFC has really challenged us yet. I know the Raiders just beat us, but we still hold the number 1 seed because we have the tiebreaker over the Ravens. So, I guess actually no, the Buffalo Bills have it, and next Sunday they'll meet their maker. So, even though the Chiefs lost this game, I'm still confident that they will get better from this and play better next week. So yeah, my takeaways from this game were the Chiefs had no sense of urgency. They really didn't. They couldn't be consistent. The offensive line could not give Mahomes any time to throw, like I said earlier. The defense was very, I don't even know what to say. They were very off and on. In the second half, they were able to get a few 3-and-outs, but in that first half, they kind of just blew the game. They gave up way too many points in the first half. And, I think that they've kind of relied too much on this offense. And like we saw last year, this offense was bound to have a bad game. And I'm just glad that they had it sooner rather than later. Because, this is an early season, mid to season loss that I can take. I think that this is a good loss if there is such a thing. And I think that, again, the Chiefs are going to get better by it. But, taking a look at some of the positives, the Chiefs played a terrible game and they only lost by 8 points. It's not good that the Raiders came into Arrowhead and put up 40, but the fact that we played terrible and we still were able to keep this game close, I'm proud of that. I really am, but we're going to have to get better. This is inexcusable, and I know that this is a loss that I can stomach, but I'm not happy about it. I'm definitely not happy about it. So, again, I think the Chiefs will get better from this loss, but hopefully they can bounce back next week against the Bills, because right now, the Bills look like the best team that the Chiefs are going to face, because they're playing very well, and we're going to find out who the best team in the AFC is next Sunday against the Bills. So in conclusion, I think that the offensive line was terrible. Mahomes made a few bad plays. He threw an interception. The defense was terrible in the first half. They gave up a ton of chunk plays, which let the Raiders tie the game. The offense was terrible in the second half. They couldn't get anything going. And I think that this penalties stuff's got to go. We got a few bad calls on us, but, the overwhelming majority of these penalties were fair. And that's inexcusable. You got to play a clean brand of football if you expect to win these games. So the Chiefs lose this game at Arrowhead Stadium by a final score of 40-32, but I'm very confident that my Kansas City Chiefs will bounce back. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, like and subscribe for more of the best Chiefs content on YouTube. You can also support the channel through the Patreon and follow us on Instagram. The links to those are in the description. You just listened to the KC Sports Report by Michael Darcy.